follows is a collection of memories from people around the world about where they were and what they felt on November 22nd, 1963.
I was 7, and I was walking home from school, and I noticed coming home from school there was some of the mothers were coming outside and grabbing their children as they were walking home from school, and of course my mother did the same when I got home. And then she told me then that the president had been assassinated, and that was a big word when you're 7, you know, assassinations.
I remember that I was in boarding in secondary school, and we didn't have any real access to the outside world in terms of newspapers or even radio, and even less of television. But there was a sort of a telegraph that came through in some way. I remember there was huge sorrow about the event because, of course, he had been to Ireland only some months before that, and that was just something that still lives very firmly in the minds of all Irish people. So it was seen as a sort of a national tragedy for all of us in Ireland at the time.
And I immigrated to the country way back in 1969. I remember the late president, when he was assassinated, our office closed that time. We really loved him.
I was a commuter student and I was taking the subway home, and there was all this racket going on from the radio. I think we were quite shocked. We really didn't know if the world was coming to an end or what. You know, what did this mean? There was so much confusion. And I think for my generation, it changed a lot about our views of life. You know, we were the 60s generation and we thought everything was wonderful and going to stay wonderful. And this just took all that away.
Nothing had really sunk in initially. It was like, oh, this didn't, yes it did. No, it didn't. There was the vacillation back and forth. At least that's the way I felt about it. And I remember Jackie, this before the funeral, her being in all black, her veil, and the walk. And I can hear the drums. The case. Next question.
At that age, I didn't know Democrat, Republican, you know, I didn't know any of that really. So it was just our president, the United States president, that had died.